Hello, my fair weathered YouTube friends. Today I wanted to talk about a blog post that came out from both Mother Duck and Delta Lake Foundation, although it has something to do with Databricks as well. Thought it was a big deal. I was a little disappointed when I tested it out, but I still think at the base, at the core of this idea, it may change the lakehouse architecture as we know it. So I kind of want to talk about it. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is Delta Lake, DuckDB, something called catalog commits from Unity Catalog. And basically what we're doing is unlocking concurrent ingestion and commits in a lakehouse architecture, specifically Delta Lake, which typically in the past has been something you've had to be on Databricks with Unity Catalog with Spark. And that seems to be changing. Okay, so we've had this problem with the lakehouse architecture the last few years, and basically it's like a one-trick pony. And when you want multi-engine support and production workloads on the lakehouse, that has not been very easy in the past. Has it been possible? Yeah, maybe if you're a Delta RS user, spin up some DynamoDB, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, people aren't going to do that. So we've had to read access with a number of tools to the Lakehouse via Unity Catalog, specifically with things like Polars, DuckDB, DAF. We've had these Unity Catalog built-in integrations that you can read and write. What most people don't know is, of course, maybe they do know, these Lakehouse architectures, whether it's Iceberg or Delta Lake, these are file-based storage systems, and they provide ACID transactions on file-based storage systems. Maybe it's S3, maybe it's local storage. At the end of the day, it's very easy to basically corrupt those tables if you have multiple separate concurrent writers trying to write to that object storage, unless you have some sort of something in front of that to manage those, just similar to a database, right? Think about database locks in a normal database. Got multiple writers and readers coming in. You have to have something managing that in the background or else things go wonky. And they finally solved this with Delta Lake, kind of. Why should we even care about simplistic concurrent writes via common data tooling? Simple is good, and it doesn't just have to be fancy. We need to open up the lakehouse architecture to be more flexible, multi-engine, and full production support for all operations, including writing, not just reading. So the core concept here is something called catalog commits. Basically, what they did, if you go read this blog post or some stuff about catalog commits, basically Delta Lake moved over to more of a iceberg type architecture where they're putting a catalog in front of the Delta Lake, and that gives us catalog commits. Basically, that catalog is handling multi-concurrent writes, and it's able to do that and basically stop concurrent corruption when you have a bunch of writers writing to this in different places. So you have DuckDB, which I'll show you in a little bit, on all these different lambdas at the same time trying to insert data. The idea is that won't break now. And again, why is this a big idea? It's an architectural idea, right? Because up until this point, most people running production workloads have been having to run Spark on clusters to do this sort of lakehouse work. Now we're saying, hey, we have Unity Catalog, we have catalog commits, and we have integrations with tools like DuckDB. Now you can use these other compute engines, not just Spark, to be able to do lakehouse work, real production lakehouse work. It kind of works, kind of doesn't. Here's a little picture of what I'm talking about, right? Say you have lambdas and they're running all these DuckDBs, and maybe they're in S3 and they're picking up files, they trigger, and these are concurrently running, and they're shoving CSVs into the same table. Now they can use catalog commits. They hit Unity Catalog instead of the Delta Lake directly, and this allows you basically to have multiple writers going on at the same time and not worry about corrupting the table, which has been a problem in the past. Again, this is about simplicity of architecture and widening the range of tools you can use for production workloads. This is a good thing if it works, which it kind of doesn't. And you know me, as per usual, I don't just take people at their word. If you go read these blog posts, I can link them in the comments here. They were using open source Unity Catalog and showing how you could use DuckDB to do concurrent writes. I was okay. They said you could do it Databricks as well in the blog. I'm like, let's try this out. It didn't exactly turn out how I expected, but I can see what's going on. I can see what they're working on. Hopefully they get some of the bugs fixed. But basically what I wanted to do is use DuckDB inside an AWS Lambda using Databricks Delta Lake and basically shove a bunch of CSV files into an S3 bucket, have them trigger a bunch of lambdas, kick off, and all write to the same table using this Unity Catalog commit system. This is the data I was using. I'm using the Divi bike trips open source data set. Pretty simple. It's just records about bike trips. Yay. Basically, the first thing you have to do is you either have to alter your table, or when you create your Delta table, you have to say Delta feature catalog managed is supported. You have to basically flip that flag on the Delta table or create a new one with that flag turned on. And of course, next, whether you're using either OSS Unity, in my case, I was using Databricks Unity Catalog, you need your workspace URL and then a token to basically access. So basically that Lambda or whatever engine you're using, the DuckDB, can connect to that Delta Lake on Databricks. I can leave all this code in GitHub so you can check it out. But basically, here's what I did. I made a Docker file that I'm going to use for an ECR image on AWS ECR and use that for a Lambda. Here is the simple Docker file. I'm basically using the AWS public Python 3.12 base image, and then I just install UV, and then of course I'm installing DuckDB, and you'll see here I'm also installing some AWS, some AWS, so I can get that S3 file. Makes sense, right? I'm also got some environment variables in there like Databricks Hoken, Toast, etc. And this is where the magic happens in this DuckDB file, of course. We'll just scroll through it quickly, but at a high level again, remember what's happening is we're going to have a S3 bucket. It's going to have CSV files drop into it. Lambda is going to kick off, which the Lambda is going to trigger on that CSV file hitting. That Lambda context gets the location of that S3 CSV file. It's going to go ahead and read that in with DuckDB and then shove it to Delta Lake via the Unity Catalog commit. That was the idea. So you can see a typical Lambda going on here. We're basically getting the record that it kicked off on, getting the S3 bucket and the key, etc. Of course, you can see some DuckDB going stuff here. We're forcing a Delta load, loading Unity Catalog, loading all those nice extensions that we want, creating a secret with that stuff for Unity Catalog with DuckDB, attaching that catalog. And then honestly, the rest of it's supposed to be pretty easy. Basically, after we have that Unity extension installed, we're supposed to be able to basically just select read from CSV with this DuckDB. Should be super simple, and shove it into that table that we have basically support for catalog managed Unity commits, catalog commits, whatever you want to call them, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is supposedly as easy as it should be, because again, if you go read this blog post from both DuckDB and Unity OSS or Delta Lake OSS, they basically show examples of us doing this. Of course, they skip over some of the details and they're using OSS Unity. They say you should be able to do this with Databricks Unity Catalog. I found that you could not. I tried this every up way, which round, right way. Basically, what it comes up to is, I can show you this error here, but basically, they're still not there yet. I got to the point where it's just basically the Delta kernel that they use basically behind the scenes it's not working. It's saying staged commits, which this is the new feature stuff we're working on. It's saying log tail require max catalog version to be set, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what's going on. I'm sure I could keep playing with it, but when there, blog post, it works. Here it doesn't. I went ahead and you can see my Lambda I made, but whatever, it don't work. I don't know what else to say besides that. I uploaded a bunch of CSV files, kicked it off many times, tried to debug it a little bit, but I get what they're trying to do. It's close, right? It's something about that insert blows up with that Delta kernel. Something's off there. And their blog post, it works. We're getting close, right? And I just wanted to show you guys that I think it's a big deal when they get this fixed, when it's hardened up a little bit. I think it's a big deal for the architecture. Why? Because you can save a ton of money. You don't need to run a Spark cluster anymore. It just changes how you design and architect data pipelines for the lakehouse. We now have true multi-engine support. You can use DuckDB on a Lambda. You don't have to use a Databricks job, right? It just opens up a whole new world of architecture, basically. And it's real cost savings, and it's simple. What do you think is simpler, a Spark job running in Databricks or DuckDB inside of Lambda? You tell me. Yeah. So I was just excited about this. Hopefully they get this figured out. It's pretty sweet. I'll leave a link to the GitHub with this code, to the blog post, all that. Check it out. I think this is going to be the next big thing for the lakehouse. Who knows?